Hello, this is ICASTnews.com, live and direct from the United Nations. I'm Linda Fasulo, and welcome to State of Affairs. Joining me today is Pakistan's ambassador to the United Nations, Abdullah Hussein Haroon. Welcome, Ambassador.
Thank you, Linda. It's lovely being here, especially with you.
Thank you. Well, I'd like to begin today with a recent event, namely a major terrorist attack on a naval base near Karachi earlier this week. We know that the Pakistani Taliban took responsibility. And of course, there's great concern in the United States and elsewhere in terms of how strong is the Taliban and what threat do they pose to the government?
To begin with, let me say, unfortunately, many years ago, though we kept telling them not to do so, here in America, they decided to club the Taliban and the Al-Qaeda together. A very fatal mistake in many a way. Today we realize that that's not so, and they are now redressing the whole situation, and we hope it changes. In Pakistan, the attacks were a conglomeration of both. There were three attacks. First was in Mardan, the attack on the cadets at the Shabkada base, very many killed. Then at the base in Karachi, where we lost our two Orion observing aircraft, which is devastating for us from many points of view, and I hope we will get a possibility of putting them back together on ground with the help of the Americans. Number three, I think the attack that came in Peshawar on a police post, though not in importance the same, but certainly important. In CBS, on the very first day that Mr. Osama bin Laden was killed, I said on television, I said, you know, for you this might be an end, for us it is a beginning of great anxiety, and they will hit back at us with everything they have, and by God they have done so. So not totally unpredictable, and of course they are using every asset at their command to unravel the government in Pakistan.
So of course the question that begs the question in terms of military responsiveness is how safe are nuclear facilities?
Actually it doesn't. I think that the wake-up call should have put us on even greater alert, especially with the threat that came out of India of acting on those assets, which I think was a little unnecessary at this stage. But let me say this. You remember when the great juggernaut of the Israeli the Israeli army attacked southern Lebanon, and it was stopped by a handful of people in the southern mountains. There are many unpredictable things which happen, and Israel took substantial losses at that time. In military warfare, losses are anticipated. They can be lesser or greater. This was devastating to us, and we certainly did not have the same levels of protection as we do for the nuclear assets in this case. But it is a wake-up call. We should take it seriously, and we should further keep our assets more securely. If you've seen this particular base that was attacked, it was attached to my golf course where I play golf. And we used to observe it, and I used to always say that it's, you know, it seems pretty unprotected. Actually, the base was only being used for the Orion landings and takeoffs, which should have been important enough. But I guess it was not really seen as an attack base and did not have the same levels of protection which it should have had. Well, we're now the wiser, and perhaps we will do something about it. You remember when the IRA attacked Margaret Thatcher, and they said, well, she'll have to be lucky all the time. She may have got away this time. Mm-hmm. We have to be lucky once. So they were lucky. The only base of any considerable interest is the base you talk about. But the nuclear protection, believe me, is several levels much higher than that base, which is on the main road of Karachi city, separated by a barbed wire fence huge. It is absolutely huge. I don't think more than 1/20th of it is actually occupied, because there's an airstrip and there is some hangars. So it was not really, perhaps, given the same level of security as it should have had. But 2020, after the event, we should have looked after it much more than we did.
Ambassador, can we speak a little bit about the recent killing of Osama bin Laden?
Certainly.
And the impact that that has had in terms of U.S.-Pakistani relations?
Certainly.